General Meston, I mean, this is a concern of people who live in the area. Konchok stands in as a councillor for Trishul. He represents people over here. And in as much as we talk about peace between India and China, and obviously that's important, are we conceding ground to the Chinese within our territory, which is problematic?
Vishnu, good evening. Firstly, we are not conceding any ground to the Chinese, and I will explain the logic.
Yeah.
Secondly, now I will just come on to the Grazier, this point raised by the councillor Ladakh. See, his concerns are highly justifiable, but let me tell you that when I was the Colonel GS of the same division way back in 2004, 2005, graziers were generally not allowed to cross the Indus River in the Demchok and all these areas which he is referring to. No, there is a reason. The basic reason is these are got security concerns. Because the Chinese can kidnap a grazier, some of them can also be used or captured by the Chinese for intelligence activity, so it is a concern area. Now, of late, the LAC area in eastern Ladakh has become an area which is highly tensed. In a tensed up environment, it is better not to send the graziers because it can have further repercussions. So, grazier issue, I am just highlighting this. Now, coming on to the, are we conceding ground? In no way. For example, now coming on to this PP-15 at Gogra, see, the Chinese have pulled back 3 kilometers.
Yes.
And you have raised a very pertinent issue about the description of LAC. See, there are various perceptions of the LAC, and that is why the dispute is there between both sides. Areas of dispute and areas of differences they are resolved to, and both sides were resorting to claiming these areas by sending their patrols very, very frequently. We used to send patrols and they used to send, and these patrols sometimes used to come onto a face-off situation, and sometimes these face-off situations would turn into an ugly situation the way it happened in Galwan. So therefore, what I'm trying to say now, this buffer zone, I think this is a very, very positive step happen because we are preventing flare-ups, we are preventing friction, and therefore both sides have, for de-escalation, we have done disengagement. And therefore, 3 kilometers back, they have pulled back. And similarly, I'm quite sure we also would have pulled back 3 kilometers. So in essence, the buffer zone would be something varying between 6 to 7 kilometers. And therefore, no patrolling will be done. Yes, surveillance will be kept through UAVs. We will be monitoring all activities. And I think this is a good step because this will further lead to de-escalation. At the same time, beyond these areas, whether it is towards our side, or whether it is to the Chinese side, there is full freedom, laxity to have your infrastructure, troop deployment, anything.
Okay.
But yeah, so this is what I'm trying to hide. We are not conceding any ground. And I think the perception differences of the LAC are there. They perceive something as LAC, we perceive something as LAC. But yes, I would also like to reiterate that troops on ground over a period of time know the so-called alignment of the LAC. So the ground holding positions are known to the soldiers on both sides. And except that we used to dominate these areas by frequent patrols, where I state, it used to sometimes lead to face-offs, and sometimes a bad, ugly face-off could lead to a very, very bad situation like it happened Galwan.